Hello again. Wanted to share for a couple minutes an interesting thought about a way that I see parents interacting and teaching their children how to think that I think is faulty logic and sets your children up to not potentially have as successful of a life as possible. It sounds good when you hear it and when I share it with you, but it's incomplete, and because it's incomplete, it doesn't work. Or at least it's not the optimal situation I think you would want your child to think, and I'll explain. So, the way the logical argument goes, and you hear a lot of parents say this, my father-in-law is the one who I hear this from the most. He's a pretty successful logger, and I constantly hear him telling his kids and his grandkids, and this is his belief system, and he believes it. And what he believes, basically, is that he could have made more money as a logger if he would have made some sacrifices, but he believes that there are certain things not worth sacrificing. I don't disagree with that. That's noble. But he thinks that after a certain amount of money, after you meet your basic needs, that you should not work anymore for money, and you should instead spend that time with family, spend that time doing things you enjoy. In his example, he loves to hunt, and once he's hit a certain dollar amount for the year, he's on a different value system for his life. Okay. Now, I don't think anyone who's just listened to what I just had to say would disagree with that. I would think you'd probably be listening to that saying, well, yeah, that sounds very good to me. And I would almost agree with you if it weren't for one huge flaw in this type of thinking. This type of thinking means that you believe the only way to produce an income for your family is by trading hours for dollars. So, that's where this argument falls apart for me. It turns out that there's a type of money you can make that does not require hours for dollars. It's called business. It's called residual income. It's this other class of money. We don't teach our children how to make this type of money very often. Certainly our systems don't. And we typically just think it's hours for dollars. Hours for dollars. We go to college, you can trade hours for dollars. And for some reason, we totally blow off this other way of money. And so the only way my father-in-law's argument works, and that type of argument works, is if you believe that to make money, you have to trade hours for dollars. However, I don't make money trading hours for dollars. I make money off of building systems that create money. And I'm not the only one who does that by any means. I build business systems that make money. Anyone who has a business with employees has created a system that operates without them always being there. If you've done it well, and it can absolutely be done well, and this video is not about that. The video is just about letting you, hopefully if you don't think about this type of thing often, this will open up your mind to realize that there's a type of, this type of other way of making money exists. And I chose, instead of to believe my father-in-law's argument, I chose to believe in this other model of making money, so that it absolutely, completely is like oil and water with my father-in-law's argument, where he says, and I'll explain, where he says, after you make a certain amount of money, it's not good to work anymore because you're sacrificing time with your family. In my business, the more residual income that I can make, the more I can spend with my family. It's the exact opposite. So whether you're making residual income via real estate or stocks, dividends, and a whole bunch of other things, I think that if you don't accept this other level of making money as a valid option, you end up teaching to your kids an incomplete way of viewing the world. And if they view the world like you have to trade hours for dollars, then I don't think that's as good of a system. I'd rather have a child grow up to realize this thing about how to make money in a way where they can be as free to spend time pursuing their passions and spend time with their families as possible, versus the hour for dollar model. I think it's a bad model. And that's my argument for today. So while it's noble, if you are going to trade hours for dollars to have my father-in-law's perspective, dangerous, and a big glass ceiling on your child's life if you don't at least knowledge and help them understand that a whole other model exists. Something my father-in-law didn't understand, and something I'd like to share with you is as a principle that I think it changed my life. That's why I'm talking to you about it, because it's that powerful. I don't have to show up to work for a month, and businesses can continue to grow and produce income. It's not a dollar per hour deal, and that's today's thought to think about. So something to chew on for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed it.